and there's a love story between the lead in the play and another person in the cast or something like that. And so the holodeck produces this, and of course in Star Trek they'd roll in the actors and they would then create the scene, that is supposed to be this holographic, projection, and it allows the characters to immerse themselves into the story. You can do the same thing theoretically with a lucid dream because now you are the one who's programming the computer, and basically you just tell it what you want to experience. But there are some limitations to it. There are, if you deliberately do something that is cruel, I've found that can have a real blowback. And if you try to use the lucid dreaming state to go after someone that you know or know of, like let's say you don't like the person who's in the White House and you think that you can go and give them a kick upside the head or whatever, and so people will actually try to do things like that, and there tends to be a real blowback against him, so that the dream won't, will respond in a way that's unexpected. But otherwise, what you do is you program into your mind. You go, okay, the first thing, what do I do when that moment comes when I realize that I'm dreaming, but I'm conscious and I'm aware? So what if you get an idea of that? Because most people, when they become conscious of the fact they're in a dream, what happens? They wake
up. Yeah, they'll wake up.
That's the hurdle. You got to get past that point so you can realize you're in a dream and you go, okay, cool, I've got a plan. And that you've got a plan. What I do in my last lucid dream, I've learned I picked up a little tip, was that you want to reach out and touch the dream environment. You want to feel it. You want to see objects and you want to touch them. You want to feel them. You can even sort of feel the air in a way. Just reach out your hand in front of you with that, I'm sensing with my touch whatever's in front of my fingers, and you helps to stabilize the dream. Once you can just get comfortable with something real simple and focused like that, then you can start to do other things with the dream environment. And you can say, okay, I want to fly. I want to run like the Flash. I want to swim like a whale. You can do, and then go have these experiences, and it's fully real. It is Neo getting plugged in to, the Matrix, and coming in knowing that he is outside of the normal programming, and he's only limited by what he can bring up in his own mind and fully believe that he can do or create. So that's the same idea in the dream. And if you can do that in a dream, you tend to carry it over into your life. You say, okay, I can create this reality for myself. Now I'm in the awake reality, which is this consensus reality with all you other humans, I have a place within this world that I can dream up for myself. I can see it in my mind's eye, and you get that confidence in a dream to say, I can also create this for myself, because lucid dreaming there's a challenge to it. You have to be balanced in yourself and aware in yourself in a way that is not the everyday reality. Some people just do it naturally, but when you get people who are experienced lucid dreamers, you also see people who are very capable of being able to do things in the world and get it to respond the way that they want to. In other words, they've got their shit together.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody can do it, and I encourage you to start off with just become aware that you're in the dream, stabilize the dream environment, and have a plan for when you get there to decide what sort of simulation and what kind of experience that you want to have. And allow some room for the dream to respond to you in a way that it knows better, and it might not render things exactly the way that you want them, but you're still going to get something out of it that's it's an amazing experience.
Absolutely fabulous. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed this hour. This has been absolutely fabulous. Like I said, thank you so much for taking time out. Because, I was kind of afraid that, oh boy, I'm asking someone on the show that is like George Norrie's, don't have the money to pay these people to be on my show.
Oh, you don't. You offer the audience. That's how you pay somebody to come on your show, in the sense of that they're getting something out of it of value. And for me, I do this because I want to teach people that their dreams are easier to understand than what they might think, and that there's a lot that they can gain from the regular practice of paying attention to their dreams, writing them down, trying to understand them. And it can open up your life in ways that is, it can be the best thing that you ever do for yourself.
Because believe it or not, I've had dreams of being on the radio a long, long time. And I've had dreams of having a call-in talk show. I have people calling in. But when I started Spreaker, it's just like I'm doing a 3-hour rant with no listeners, and it's been getting me frustrated.
Well, look, it's practice. This is the thing. You have to live the role first. Okay, you live the role first. You do all the things that come along with it. I made a point of sending you the same press material that we send to George Norrie.
Yeah, and I was looking at him.
Questions and stuff, and the talking points, and all that stuff. These are all materials I prepared with my publisher and my agent to send out, and these get sent to all the radio hosts. So it doesn't matter if your show is, small or large, if anybody's listening or not. It's, those things can come to you over time if you keep doing what you are, you take care of it day by day, and you live the role of, speaker or, talk show host. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you keep doing it, and then maybe it turns into something, and it might be expanding your audience, but there might be something else that opens up from it. The point is that you did it.
Yeah.
And once you've lived that role first in smaller sorts of ways, and then what I've found is that the bigger doors open. For some people, it happens very quickly, and for most people, it's a building process over time. For me, it's been years. If you look at when I started at Reddit, that was really my public, ministry of dream interpretation began with right there on Reddit. And then I started doing in 2013 is when my first book came out. So that's when I became a public expert. And now it's 4 years later. And, I'm seeing how I started off just living the role at Reddit without any book contract or anything, just because it was something that I loved to do.
Yeah.
And then I got feedback that told me, okay, this is worth doing. People are responding to this. I'm enjoying it. So, let's see if we can figure out a way of making this my occupation.
Yeah.
And so that's what, but first I lived the role. I wasn't getting paid for it. It wasn't my occupation, but I lived the role long enough that things, so just day by day, dude, you are, right now, you are a talk show host.
Because I'm at 56. I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Yeah, no doubt, So, and do you have a ham radio?
No, I've wanted to do ham radio, but where I live, I don't know. I live in an apartment, so don't know.
Okay.
And that's kind of a tough thing, in an apartment. I used to be a CB. I used to do CB a lot. And about as close as I got a ham because I had one of those Cobra 2000 GTL radios, and they were all the way up to close to the ham frequencies. And I used to talk on sideband, and that was about as close because I used to do skip during the day. But that was a lifetime ago. That was after I graduated high school. I'm from Pittsburgh, actually.
You're already playing the role. Okay, you are a talk show host already, and you just keep doing it, and you'll see what happens. But you do that part, and let let the world, the good Lord, whatever you want to call it, let them
The good
take
Lord.
care of the rest of it. But you just be a talk show host for now. You live the role. You do it day by day in your life, and look for ways that your dreams show you this part of yourself.
Yeah.
And you have my dream dictionary now. Just install that EPUB reader, okay? And
Okay.
you can start to use that, and it'll get you what you need to know to get started, understanding your dreams more.
And I might just be starting a dream interpretation segment on this program.
Hey, that would be cool. Yeah. All right, well, you'll have to have me back then, because I love to interpret dreams and help people understand them, and this is something that's close to my heart, and yeah, I'm always
definitely.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, I got to get rolling, but you take care of yourself and keep at it, okay?
Well, hey, thank you very much. All righty. Bye-bye. J.M.D. Board, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being part of the program on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world. He's a dream interpreter. He has a couple of really good books out, and he is a fascinating man and a lot of really good stuff to talk about in dreams. And no doubt probably going to try to interpret dreams from here. Definitely. And this is Way Out There on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world. That puts an end to our 60 minutes of non-stop talk right here on GJRB. My mouth needs a break. I need a break. So what we're going to do right now is take that break. So I will be returning with more of Way Out There. In our last half hour, we'll talk about our program schedule for the rest of the week, and I'll let you know what we got coming up in music programs and stuff like that for September on GJRB Online when we return to Way Out There for our final half hour or so here on GJRB Online. So, yeah, it was great to have him on there. Really was. I loved having him on. That was what an honor to have a George Norrie guest on, and putting on this fabulous talk show. And maybe next time we have him on, we can probably have him on longer and take phone calls once we get this thing working right. And maybe I don't know. I found out why I think I was not. I'm going to check back in my past two parts. Because the microphone part and sources was in the wrong spot. I had it on stereo mix, and I'm not wondering if maybe when I had it in stereo mix, it was not in the microphone part of it, and for some reason half my shows not heard. Okay, well, I'm going to have to check that later on. I don't know. My microphone, everything was working on here, and I could see me modulating on my screen and the mic part of it, but it was set to stereo mix. So what was I doing there? Okay. Oh, well, that's about the half of it. Anyway, I will be right back with more Way Out There coming up on GJRB Online, and give you the wrap-up of our program right after we take this break on GJRB.
The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Russin program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news, true news, news that's not in the mainstream on GJRB. It was the year World War II ended, and the troops came home, and the music was fabulous, with big hits from Perry Como, Judy Garland, and the Andrews Sisters. The year was 1945. Listen to the year in music on the next Swing Time. I'm Gary Russin, and I'll be featuring the biggest hits from that year, along with trivial information about the prices of items such as groceries, the news events, the culture of 1945 on the next Swing Time. After 1 year, the wait is over. Now join Pastor Ron Johnston and a panel of men and women to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust Him and listen to the last 7 days.
Uploaded as a podcast or live
Every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central
on GJRB Online. It's that time of year once again, spring. A time when the weather gets warm and the flowers bloom, and GJRB is starting new programs and bringing back older ones that haven't been on for a while. It's the GJRB Spring Spectacular. All new programs and old ones returning, like Radioland, Gary J's Radio and Television Classics under a new name. Radio, television, and movie classics, featuring not just radio and television broadcast rarities, but also intermissions from drive-in movie theaters and indoor theaters too. Old movie trailers and movie trivia. The Spring Spectacular will also mean the return of the blues with Gary J's Blues House and country bluegrass with Bluegrass Jubilee. New additions to the Gary Russell program, including The Man on the Street, as I take my voice recorder to the streets of Clinton and ask people their opinions on what's going on in the news and lighter fun stuff. GJRB Spring Spectacular starts in April on GJRB. Now, a memorable moment from a past Gary Rustin program. I don't know. Let me see. I cannot find it. Here it is. Here we go. Scotty Moore. Scotty Moore. The legendary guitarist for Elvis Presley. He's a guitarist for Elvis Presley from 1954. He played classics. Love his classics like That's All Right, Good Rockin' Tonight, Milk Cow Blues, Baby Let's Play House, Heartbreak Hotel, Mystery Train, Blue Suede Shoes, all those. Hound Dog, Too Much, Jailhouse Rock. He played them all. Scotty Moore. He was in 4 Elvis Presley movies, including Jailhouse Rock, King Creole, and G.I. Blues. He also played in 1960. He took a job in the production manager for Sam Phillips on Sun Records. And continued to work with Elvis on songs like Good Luck Charm and Devil in Disguise and the Bossa Nova Baby. And then later on, he was fired at Sun Records. Yep, Phillips fired him in 1964, but he continued recording with Elvis with a guitar and changed the world. And also reunited Elvis in the 1968 television special. He was part of that. He was part of the 1968 television special, which was the Elvis Presley comeback special. I remember that. That was my early years when I wanted to be a DJ. I used to see all the DJs on TV, and I thought it was a great job to do that. Yeah, it was, I remember this really well. As a matter of fact, Scotty Moore, well, that's a shame. Anyway, Scotty Moore played his last show in 2007 at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis. Scotty Moore died at the age of 84 in Tennessee. So we bid farewell to another great talented man in the nation. It's a shame. Scotty Moore died. I don't know. It's a shame.
You're listening to Way Out There on GJRB Online. If you'd like to talk to Gary, pick up the phone right now and dial area code 563-613-4260 or on Skype at Gary.Russin. If you don't want to get on the radio, you can contact Gary via the chat room on the GJRB public site by clicking the comic book icon on the GJRB widget. And now, back to Way Out There on GJRB.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know what happened here. Front mic. Why did I have my front mic on? Not my front mic, but the stereo mix. I wonder what that sounded like coming back through. I'm going to have to listen to this show from the beginning. Oh, no. Okay, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if anybody's heard me. Call me up now. Area code 563-613-4260. And let me know what you think. If you heard me. I know. I just... Okay, you know. But I guess the first 3 hours of this show wasn't so bad. Leading up to JMD Board. And, that was just fabulous. To actually have a guest for an hour like that, just to make this show more interesting, to make this more fascinating. I mean, there's more questions I could have been asked, and there's a lot of them here. I mean, plenty of them, but I mean, I highlighted some of the ones I did want to ask. The record imagery, I didn't get to that. I didn't get to the one I wanted to talk about. I did the one about evading dreams, because I thought that was a fascinating topic. It's kind of scary in a way. Well, out-of-body experience, I did touch on that a little bit with that other dream. But we're going to have them back on eventually. What we're going to work on is trying to get audience for this program. As I have told you before, last year, just before he came on, so I might as well reiterate, since I don't know if I was being heard or not, since it was set on front mic. It should have been set, this is set on front mic, but it was set on stereo mix. And I'm wondering if I wasn't even heard. Oh boy. You know, the only thing I'll salvage from this show, if that's the case, is my interview with JM. So, at least we have that. With a rerun, of course, I'm going to do, because usually what I do is I repeat it on my 9-foot signal. And I will be repeating this program I'll be repeating it on here and on my 9-foot signal in a couple of weeks anyway, because I do repeat these programs here on Spreaker. So if you miss it, get a chance to hear it again. So, you know, how about that? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Have a chance to hear it again. That was a great interview. And it's worth playing again. So more than likely you will hear it again right here on GJRB. But it's available the whole weekend, this whole program. So if you didn't get a chance to listen into the conversation between me and JM, and you had questions regarding your dreams, even though we're off the air, and even though we're long been gone, and even though I'm, the GJRB's not on the air, but you have the podcast of this program at your fingertips when you are on Spreaker. Okay? So that means that you can go back and listen to the podcast, because I'm telling you what, I got to listen to find out how it came out. So this ought to be interesting. Okay? I'm gonna, so that people can, maybe listen to the podcast. I did advertise while we were on the air live, but I don't know if it did any good. Looking at my show now, in the final part, I'm at 0 plays, 0 downloads. So I'm looking at the first 3 parts of the program. Part 1 has 3 plays. Part 2 has 1. Part 2 is the tail end of part 2 is when JM came on. So part 3 and the final pretty much was me and JM, Jason, otherwise known as Red Owl. So Red Owl. So if you were listening to that part and you had questions regarding your dreams, all you got to do is get into the Spreaker public site, or if you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+, especially Twitter. Twitter listeners can do this. They can go in where it has my emblem, and it says the Radio Maniac, and it has our radio station, our radio icon on there. Okay, the little old time radio emblem. When you see that on your Twitter, all you got to do is go in there and click the umbrella, the little emblem. That takes you to the chat room. And leave a question regarding your dream. Okay? And I will forward it to JM. I will forward it to Rat Owl, and he can interpret it for you. As a matter of fact, what I could do is do that, and I will send interpretations back somehow. Or what I'll do is on the next Way Out There show, I'll have another dream interpretation segment, and I will read some of the responses. Like if I'll read your chat message, and then I will read his response to that on the air. Or what I'll do is the next time he's on the air with me, I will read some of those. I'll keep them. I can print those up, and I will read them on the air, and we can read it back and forth. And that would be the way we could do it too. So either way, or next time he's on the program, we'll rig up an open line segment. I don't know. I think there's a way. I tried to do that yesterday. I think on my I opened up a conversation thing on here. But for some reason that didn't register. I don't know if I did it wrong or what, but I left it open for people to call in on Skype here. I'm Gary.Russin on Skype. If you want to call me on Skype, you're welcome to do so because it works really good. As a matter of fact, I had it open. I had a great conversation with JMD Board on Skype. Shoot, if Rachel, if you're listening, Rachel Ozzy Jarvis, if you're listening, I don't know if you are, or if you happen to catch it, you could try to call me on here again. Try Skype again, because maybe we were just doing something wrong. Because, maybe just don't do video, just audio. You could do just audio. I don't know how exactly, but you can do just audio. If you don't want to have a camera on, you can just turn it off and do audio. You just call me on here, Gary.Russin. Call me on here, and you can get on the air again. So maybe we could call my show again, and we could chat again. Because I know that you might find this interesting. So if you want to call the next time JM comes on, just do that. He was great. I wish I could have got more time to ask more questions, but he was great. We're going to have him on again. One of George Norrie's guests right here on Way Out There on GJRB, JMD Board, and it was fabulous. Oh, man. It was fabulous. GJRB Online on Spreaker. Okay, we're drawing to a close on this Way Out There show, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add another, I'd like to add another half hour. Tell you what, I might take a program break. Well, let's see. Because I wanted to do the Coast to Coast guest for this week. I didn't get to that yet. So I'm thinking about adding a conclusion. So what I might do is take a break here. Let's see. Let me see here. Why don't I do this? Why don't I take a break? I want to run some promos. Let's see if I could do that. I want to run some promos. And then come back. Okay. And we'll do the Coast to Coast rundown of guests for next week. Brought to you by Premier Radio Networks and Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Norrie, Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. I meant to ask JM if he's ever going to be on the TV version. I forgot to ask him that. Anyway, so why don't we do that? I'm going to take a break, and then we'll be right back, and we'll add a few more minutes to this program, and we'll do the guest lineup for next week's Coast to Coast and see who's going to be on and what the topics are coming up next on Way Out There. We'll be right back.
You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, smooth jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming, and programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap, also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy.
Coming to GJRB, a program highlighting the artists that play on GJRB. Artist Showcase, the first show featuring the music of Samuel Day. We'll talk about him and his music and the songs he wrote and recorded, including his latest hit on the GJRB playlist, The Roses. In addition, you'll hear all the other Samuel Day songs. Click and listen to the podcast of the Artist Showcase, uploaded in September on the GJRB Spreaker public site.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players, and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time, and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's Sports Page. Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB. America's Street Music is back on GJRB, Bluegrass with the Grassgolds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too. At a brand new time, every third Saturday at 12 noon Central on GJRB.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land, a day of nothing but classic radio shows back-to-back with classic commercials in between, like the days of radio, almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel, Radio Land.
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land, a day of nothing but classic radio shows back-to-back with classic commercials in between, like the days of radio, almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel, Radio Land.
We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russa program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russa program. highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Wrestling program on GJRB.
Yeah, Bumble Boogie and the Stinger. Oh yeah, I love that piece. I had a kid on here not too long ago, and I think it was on those talent shows doing this piece, and he did a real good job with it. Kind of an upbeat version of the Flight of the Bumblebee. Oh yeah, you know you like that one. Hey, I tell you what though, this is way out there. We're wrapping up our show for today. Once again, I want to thank my guest, JMD Board, Rat Owl, Dream Interpreter, and he was quoted by George Norrie as saying that he was one of the greatest, I just put it, one heck of a dream interpreter. George Norrie, JMD Board, a fantastic interpreter of dreams, gives a ton of detailed and valuable information on how to do so yourself. That's from Amazon Reviewer. And a program host, Robert Sharp, host of the Bringing the Inspiration to Earth, says, as a guest on my show, JMD Board drew listeners' responses like awesome, right on, amazing, insight, and cool dude. And he is absolutely right. Absolutely right. JMD Board, and we want to thank him so much for joining our program today here on GGRB Online. Adding another segment to the program. A conclusion, so to speak. So we're going to be here just a trifle bit longer. So we're going to stay on the air for a little longer here, for like maybe an extra half hour or so, maybe the whole 45. You never know. Just going to wrap it up here at this point, because every once in a while, you know, we're on KGRB, which is our 9-foot FM signal, and it is the FM side of GJRB. So with that in mind, it's in my control. Don't really worry about any programs coming up after me. I don't. We go off the air. That's it for today. So with that in mind, I can kind of take the 5 o'clock hour and continue for just a little bit longer. So what we're going to do is we wrap up our way out there for today here on GJRB Online. And we, since we did that interview piece, we don't stop to do anything because it was our 60 minutes of nonstop talk. So we're going to do Weather on the 5. And keeping track with the hurricane, which is now in Category 3. I'm looking at the map of the state of I'm looking at Texas right now, Houston and Galveston, Texas right now, and they are under extreme red. The west central Gulf from 22 north to 26 north to 94 west. I'm looking at that whole map here, and it is red as a beet. Terrible. They got it. Heavy. Harvey. It's Harvey now. It's a Category 3. Category 3. And I'm looking at the
I'm looking to see now. I'm going to do the full detail. Category 3, wind speed probabilities here. The wind speed probabilities could reach. I'm looking at that. I can't read this. No, I'm going to go with another way of getting this information. Wait a minute. Wind speed probabilities of Harvey. It's not looking good, guys. For people living in this area who may be listening to this program, I don't know how you're doing it, because I'm sure that there's no Wi-Fi in any of these areas where this is happening, down into Louisiana and everything. I couldn't tell you if you're getting us or not, but it looks grim in your area for sure. I'm not saying that you're getting any I don't know, the wind, whatever. I'm going to go to where I usually get my general weather information from my weather channel people, because they are more accurate and concise when giving me the complete weather outlook. So we're going to kind of go in that direction. Let's see here. Catastrophic course. Harvey now is just 100 miles away. They're saying now, according to this, they're starting to get a lot of the storm surge in that area. So I'm going to go into the temperature rundown. I don't know why it... Okay, here we go. Okay, never mind. Temperature rundown. I'm going to go into Corpus Christi, and I'm going to look at the details. Right now, you guys are 77 degrees right now. In Corpus Christi, 77 degrees, and you've got rain going on right now. I'm heading into the Corpus Christi area, and I'm looking at your radar right now, and you are under a lot of heavy rain. It's green all the way through your radar right now. It's green. It is really bad. Extreme. You are on right now. You are under an extreme wind warning. For people down in Corpus Christi, Texas right now, you're on alert number 9, extreme wind warning, from 4:56 Central Daylight Time until 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time Friday. In Corpus Christi, Texas, your barometric pressure is 29.38 inches of mercury and dropping rapidly. Your wind's at northwest now at 46 miles per hour, so you're pretty close to that. About 4 more miles to your 50 mile per hour mark. So you're almost halfway to 100 miles per hour. Humidity 93%, dew point 74. And it looks grim for you guys. We're praying for you. We really are here. They say this could be a disaster. Tonight, heavy thunderstorms, 75, 100% chance of precipitation tonight and tomorrow. And that's according to the storm approach going on to shore. Now, according to a report, they're saying that the hurricane's going to hit you guys late tonight or early tomorrow morning. 75 degrees is your current predicted tonight. Tomorrow, Saturday, rain. That's all you're going to get tomorrow. Wind and rain. 85 for your high. 75 a low for tomorrow night. 84 for Sunday. And 73 for Sunday night. 90% and 80%. 80% chance of precipitation Saturday night and Sunday. And 90% Sunday night for Corpus Christi, Texas. That storm is bearing on you guys. Harvey may be the first major U.S. hurricane to hit in 11 plus years. And I'm looking at that. That is one huge storm that's escalating on you guys. So we're praying for you. We really are. I hope that things turn out, and I hope that maybe this is not going to be the baddest storm. But we're looking at it. Now, Galveston, Texas, I think you guys are just going to get a pretty much tropical storm. I think you're going to get the tail end of it. You're not going to get the full impact that Corpus Christi is going to get. Although I don't know about Louisiana yet. You do have a